I'm meteorologist Christian Bridges, and thank you for joining me for this edition of WeatherWise. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Enso, or the El Nino Southern Oscillation. You often hear a meteorologist talking about El Nino or La Nina, but what do those terms mean, and what are the impacts here in Mississippi? Whether we are in El Nino or La Nina or not depends completely on the water temperature along the equator in the Pacific. When water temperatures are cooler than normal in this region, we are in the La Nina, which is Spanish for girl, phase, and when water temperatures are warmer than normal in this region, we are in El Nino, which is Spanish for the boy. El Nino and La Nina's biggest impacts come during hurricane season and the winter here in North America. During an El Nino winter, the subtropical jet stream is often very active over the southern United States, leading to many winter rainstorms and a wet winter. Warmer and drier conditions are typical across the northern tier of the country. The increased rain and cloud cover will often cause an El Nino to be cooler than average in terms of temperatures in the southeast. However, this does not mean that it is snowier in an El Nino winter. In fact, oftentimes the Arctic air needed for snow is locked up in Canada during El Nino. The inverse of El Nino is La Nina, and La Nina winters in the southeast can be a bit of a wild card. Precipitation tends to be below average with a La Nina winter, as the subtropical jet stream is usually displaced well to the south of Mississippi. Temperatures are also usually above average in the southeast, with warm and dry weather more likely. However, the reason La Nina can be a wild card for winter weather here is due to the polar jet stream. The polar jet stream separates the Arctic Canadian air to the north from warmer air to the south. Disruptions to the polar jet stream can lead to Arctic air moving down into the southern U.S. During a La Nina winter, polar jet stream disruptions are more likely to happen, which can lead to Arctic blasts in the southeast during an otherwise mild winter. A perfect example of this is last winter, a La Nina winter that ended up being warmer than average. Despite that, I'm sure we all remember the record-breaking Arctic blast of ice and snow during February. With that in mind, the winter of 21 and 2022 is another La Nina year, so just because the weather may end up above average, don't let your guard down when it comes to ice and snow. The final and often overlooked phase of the Enso is the neutral phase, when the waters of the equatorial Pacific are neither above nor below average. That is when we are in Enso neutral. Enso neutral winters are often also wild card winters, with both the polar and subtropical jet streams being active, bringing above normal precipitation to the southeast. There is no strong signal for temperatures, with about an equal chance of having a mild or cold winter in Enso neutral conditions. While winter patterns generally will follow these Enso guidelines, they can and often do diverge from what is expected with El Nino, La Nina, or neutral conditions. Here in Mississippi, looking at some of the snowiest winters in Tupelo, 2 of the top 3 snowiest years were during La Nina, which tends to bring warmer than normal winters to the southeast. The snowiest winter recorded in Tupelo happened during an Enso neutral year. With La Nina in place for the upcoming winter, it should end up fairly mild and dry. However, all it takes is one winter storm to have major impacts here in the south. I hope you found that informative, and as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of WeatherWise.
WeatherWise is brought to you by 4 County Electric Power Association.